Hi dear student, good morning to all. My name is Arumugam N, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science Engineering, Government College of Technology, Coimbatore. Welcome to the video lecture series on Digital System Laboratory. Our course code is 16 SCS 307. It's very important laboratory for every engineer, whether he or she is an electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, electronics and communication engineers, or computer science engineers. This laboratory is very basic and it's very useful for every engineer. And at the same time, this laboratory very easy to understand and very important also. I will cover this laboratory 20 to 25 video lecture. Our first lecturer is basic introduction about digital system laboratory. And this introduction gives why we are study this laboratory and why we are do this laboratory particularly in this semester. Today I am going to start the session with explanation of digital system laboratory experiment. As per the lab syllabus, total 10 experiment conducted within the help of digital IC trainer kit. So let's we go to see what are the experiment do under this laboratory. The first experiment is introduction to digital laboratory equipment and ICs. Here we are discussing what are the hardware and software things used to do this laboratory, like example breadboard and digital IC trainer kit and combination some logic gates, what are the logic gates and what are the flip-flops we are used to do this laboratory. That all the things discussing here. Then second experiment to study basic gates and verify their truth table. Here we are verify the logic gates with the help of truth table. Okay, because of after we go to do that all the experiment based on these logic gates. So before we go to develop the circuit, we should know how you go to check that logic gates. So how you know that verify the logic gate, then only you go to implement the broad circuit. So for that reason, second experiment to study basic gates and verify that truth table. Then third experiment to design and construct the basic flip-flops. And fourth experiment to design and implement encoder and decoder. Then fifth exercise to design and implementation of multiplexer. Sixth experiment similar to same concept to design and implementation of demultiplexer. Then seventh experiment to design adder subtractor circuit using a 4-bit adder ICs. Then eighth experiment to design and construct of synchronous counter. The ninth experiment to design and construct asynchronous counter. Then 10th experiment to realize basic gates and are not from universal gate. What are the universal gate? Universal gate it's mean for NAND and NOR gate is a universal gate. Why we say these two gates is a universal gate? Because of based on these two gates NAND and NOR gate we go to construct the any types of gates. So for that reason NAND and NOR gate is a universal gate, because of with help of NAND and NOR gate we go to achieve any type of logic operation. Similar to same concept, multiplexer and demultiplexer is a universal circuit, because of based on that multiplexer and demultiplexer circuit you go to construct the any type of digital circuits. So that's why say NAND and NOR gate is a universal gate and multiplexer and demultiplexer is a universal circuit. So okay, let's we go to move on. First experiment. That first experiment is nothing but the introduction about digital system laboratory equipment and ICs. Okay, this main aim is what are the equipment it's required to do this entire laboratory. Okay, so first one, the breadboard. So you know that breadboard concept. So already you see the breadboard. Actually, this breadboard consists of two terminal strips and two bus strips. So each bus strip has two rows of contact, and each of two rows of contacts are a node. That is, each contact along a row on a bus strip is connected together. Bus strips are used primarily for power supply connection but are also used for any node requiring a large number of connections. Each terminal strip has 60 rows and 5 columns of contact on each side of the center gap. Each row of 5 contact is a node. You will build your circuit on the terminal strip. You will build your circuit on the terminal strip by inserting the leads of circuit component into the contact receptacles and making connection with 22 to 26 gauge wires. There are wire cutter, stripper and a spool of wire in the lab. It is a good practice to wire +5 voltage and 0 voltage power supply connection to separate bus strip. Okay, and all the students, please note, serious injury occur to the people working on the experiment. Ensure that the power supply, polarity and all component and connections are correct before switch on your power supply. Once I repeat that, serious injury occur to the people working on the experiment. Ensure that the power supply polarity and all components and connection are correct before switch on your power supply. So okay, next, how we go to build the circuit? How we go to building the circuit? So what are the steps we go to follow before build the circuit? Okay, so throughout this experiment we will use transistor logic chips, that mean for TTL chips, transistor chip, to build the circuits. Okay, so throughout the entire all the experiment we do develop that circuit based on our TTL chip concept. These steps for wiring a circuit should be completed in the order to description below. So before we build the circuit, you should follow first condition. Turn the power off before you build anything. So before you build anything, you should turn off your power. Okay, turn off your power in our trainer kit. And then second steps, make sure the power is off before you build anything. Okay, make sure the power is off before you build anything. Then third, connect the +5 voltage and ground. Why we give that 5 voltage? Because of here we have developed only for the digital circuits. So we want to operate the digital circuits. It's 5 voltage, it's enough to do that operation. So for that reason, you connect the +5 voltage and ground leads of the power supply to the power, and ground bus strips are your breadboard. Then next step, plug the chip you will be using into the breadboard. Point all the chips in the same direction with pin 1 at the upper left corner. Okay, then next step, connect +5 voltage and ground pins of each chip to the power and ground bus strips on the breadboard. And then next step, select a connection on your schematic and place a piece of wires between corresponding pins of the chip on your breadboard. And it is better to make the short connection before the longer one, because of without have any pre-planner, you go to develop the circuit. For that time short circuit it will be occurred. That short circuit automatically make some unwanted logic. So for that reason, if you want avoid the short connection, you should select a connection on your schematic and place a wires between corresponding pins of the chip on your breadboard. It is better to make the short connection before the longer one. Then mark each connection on your schematic as you go, so as not to try to make the same connection again at a larger stage. Okay, and then next step, get one of your group member, check the connection. So after you build the circuit, get one of your group member to check the connection. Once and you go to check the connection before you turn on the power. So that's very important one. Get one of your group member to check the connection before you turn on the power. Okay, the next step, if an error is made and is not spotted before you turn the power on, turn the power off immediately before you begin to rewiring the circuit. Okay, suppose if find any error or have any error in our circuit after your power on, turn the power off immediately before you begin to the rewiring the circuit. And next step, at the end of the laboratory session, collect your wires, chips and all equipments and return them to the demonstrator or return to the corresponding staff members. Then next, during the laboratory, some common problem it will be occur. That is, first one is not connecting the groups, ground or power pins for all chips. So these are the common problem occur during the laboratory experiment. That first one is not connecting the ground or power pin for all chips. Then second one, not turn on the power supply before checking the operation of the circuit. And then third one, leaving out wires. And fourth step, plugging wires into the wrong holes. And fifth, driving a single gate input with the output of 2 or more gates, and then modifying the circuit with the power on. So these all are the common problem occur. You try to avoid these all the problem. So in all the experiment, you will be expected to obtain all instruments and all leads and component at the start of experiment and return them to their proper place. After you have finished the experiment, please inform the demonstrator or technician if you locate faculty equipment. If you damage a chip, inform a demonstrator or lab technician. Don't put it back in the box of chips for somebody else to use. So okay, let's we go to see on example implementation of logic circuits. Okay, so now we have discussed what are the basic instruction to follow during this laboratory. Okay, after let's we go to move on what is mean by logic gates, and with the help of logic gate how we go to construct any type of combination and sequential circuit. First, logic gates. Okay, now we are going to discuss about how we go to find the logic gates and what is mean by logic gates, and how we go to find the logic gate with the help of logic gate, how we go to implement the circuit. Before we go to implement the circuit with the help of logic gates, how we go to verify the gates. Okay, like a example in this experiment main aim explain the logic gates and introduce the truth table and what are the types of logic gates available. We go to discuss about this all the things. The next main objective of this experiment are to classify the logic gates and enlist the features of logic gates and define logic circuits. And from this experiment, at the end of this experiment, you will be able to describe the working of logic gates and identify the types of logic gate and understand the truth table. So introduction about the logic gates. In our digital computer, understand the language of ones and zeros. You know very well, in our digital computer understand language of ones and zero. That means for binary number. This number system is also called as a binary number system. Binary number system is mean for by it's mean for 2. So note that the operation of digital circuit can be described into corresponding voltage level. The more positive level is denoted by a high, that's equal to 1, and the other is denoted by a low, that's equal to 0, and the logic operation are represented by true and false. High state is indicate the true and low state that's indicate the false. For instance, h equal to 1, that's equal to true, and low equal to 0, that's equal to false. Is a positive language it is a positive logic, whereas h equal to 0 equal to false and l equal to 1 equal to true is a negative logic. The digital circuit having one or more input signal but only one output signal, it's called a gate. A gate which implement Boolean algebraic equation, it's called the logic gates. The basic building blocks of digital electronics are logic gates, which perform simple binary logic functions like example and or not. From these devices, more complex circuits can be constructed to the arithmetic that act as memory element. From these devices, like example and or not, from this device, more complex circuit can be constructed to the arithmetic that act as memory element. So okay, we go to move on logic gates. So what is the features of logic gates are as follows. What is features of logic gates are as follows. The flow of digital signal is controlled by transistor in various configuration depending on the logic families. For most purpose we can imagine that the logic gates are composed of ideal switches with just two stages. One is open and another one is closed. The state of switch is controlled by a digital signal. The switch remains closed so long as a logical 1 signal is applied. Logical 0 controlled signal is keep it open. We go to move on. Pin diagram for all the gates. So this one is a pin diagram. Sir, digital IC digital logic gates have 14 pin. Okay, there bottom 7 pin available, top corner 7 pin available. These pin all are fabricated based on our dual inline packaging technique. Okay, dual inline packaging technique. Here bottom 7 pin and top 7 pin, totally 14 pin available. Like example, 2 input NAND gate have 2 input and 1 output. So we want to fabricate one gate with inside the IC. We require 3 pin. So for that 3 into 4 is 12 pin is required to establish only for that pin, and 2 pin that's used to provide the power supply for that corresponding chip. So totally 14 pins available. 1, 2 is the input, 3 is the output, that's one NAND gate, and 4, 5 is the input, 6 is the output, that's another one NAND gate, and 7 is the ground pin, and top corner 10, 9 is the input, 8 is the output, and 13, 12 is the input, 11 is the output, then 14th pin, that's your output pin. Okay, then similar to same NOT gate, there NOT gate have only one input and only one output. So for that reason we have totally 14 pin available, 2 pin it's used to provide the power supply, remaining 12 pins available. Each and every gate only have the 2 pins, one is the input port and another one is the output port. So we construct the 6 NOT gate inside the single NOT gate IC. Then what are the ICs useful, what are the ICs available, and what are the ICs available and do that digital laboratory system. That one is a IC 7400. And then one more thing, all the digital ICs start with 74 series. 7400, that is a 2 input NAND gate, and 7402, that is a 2 input NOR gate, and 7404, that is our NOT gate, and 7408, that's our AND gate, and 7432, that's our 2 input OR gate, and 7486, that's our XOR gate. So okay, now we are briefly discuss about some basic theory concept about all the logic gates. So first one is a AND gate. So an AND gate is the physical realization of logical multiplication operation. It is an electronic circuit which generates an output signal of ones only if all the input signal are 1. Once I repeat that, AND gate, it is an electronic circuit which generates an one output signal of 1 only if all the input signal are 1. When we give all the input 1, for that time only output signal generated 1. That is called the AND gate operation. That AND gate operation look like that multiplication operation. Okay, that AND gate IC number 7408. AND gate IC number 7408. Then next we go to discuss the OR gate. OR gate. So this is our pin diagram. OR gate IC number 7432. That OR gate operation, and OR gate is the physical realization of logical addition operation. OR gate is look like that addition operation. It is an electronic circuit which generates an output signal of 1 if any of the input signal is 1. If any of the input signal is 1, for that time you got it output is 1. Otherwise 0. Both input are 0, for that time only you got it output 0. If any one input signal is given 1, for that time output it return to the 1. Then next, NOT gate. So you see this is a NOT gate IC. That NOT gate IC number 7404. There have 14 pin available, 7 and 14. Total 2 pin it's used to provide only for the power supply. Here we are operating voltage is a 5 voltage. Because of this, this is also one of the digital IC. Okay, here NOT gate is required only one, it's operate only one input and provide only one output. So for that reason we construct one NOT gate with the help of only 2 pin. Okay, so totally 14 pin available, 2 pin is used to power supply, remaining 12 pin available. We go to fabricate the 6 NOT gate within a single IC. The NOT gate is the physical realization of the complementation operation. It is an electronic circuit which generates an output signal which is the reverse of the input signal. A NOT gate is also known as an inverter because it inverts the input. And then let's we go to discuss on NAND gate. You know that NAND gate is one type of universal gate. The NAND gate is a complemented AND gate. A NAND gate is a complemented AND gate. So NAND gate IC number 7400. So AND gate IC number 7400. So NAND gate IC 7400 have totally 14 pin. The 7th and 14th pin that's used to provide the power supply. Remaining 12 pins is available, but NAND gate it's operate multiply 2 input and 1 output. So we want to construct one NAND gate with the help of 3 pins. So totally 12 pins available. So we go to construct 4 NAND gate. So fabricated 4 NAND gate only within a single chip. So that is our NAND gate. Okay, so NAND gate is nothing but the NAND gate is a complemented AND gate. The output of the NAND gate will be 0 if all the input signal are 1, and will be 1 if any one of the input signal is 0. So that's our NAND gate. And similarly look like that NOR gate. NOR gate is a complemented OR gate. The output of the OR gate will be 1 if all the input are 0, and will be 0 if any one of the input signal is 1. So NAND and NOR gate is a universal gate. Already I told for you why we say this NAND and NOR gate is a universal gate, because of with the help of these 2 gates we go to construct any type of logical operation. Then next one is a XOR gate. That's very important one. XOR gate IC number 7486. That's your XOR gate. That XOR gate performs the following Boolean function: A XOR B, that's equal to sum of the product A dot B bar, that is one product term, and then A bar dot B, that is another one product term. You sum of that 2 product term, that's equal to A XOR B. It is similar to OR gate but excludes the combination of both A and B being equal to 1. The exclusive OR is a function that gives an output signal. So XOR gate is XOR is nothing but the exclusively OR operation. It is similar to OR gate but excludes the combination of both A and B being equal to 1. The exclusive OR is a function that gives an output signal 0 when the two input signals are equal. Okay, either 0 or 1. So when we give the alternative input, for that time only you got it output signal is 1. Otherwise we got it output is 0. That is our XOR operation. How to find XOR IC? With the help of IC 7486, that's indicate the XOR gate. So okay, this gate also have this IC also have the 14 pin, then 7 and 14 2 pin that's used to provide the power supply. Remaining 12 pin is available. This XOR operation also have 2 input and 1 output. So we want to construct one XOR gate with the help of 3 pin. So 12 pins available in our IC. So totally 4 XOR gate fabricated in single chip in our 7486 IC. So these all are the basic introduction about digital system laboratory. Now we are discussing what are the hardware equipment available, how we go to make a connection with the help of breadboard. During that laboratory, what are the steps we should follow, and then how we go to avoid some repeated problem, and how we go to effectively handle this laboratory. And next, what are the gates available, how we go to find the gate, and how we go to make it, how we go to make the connection with the help of pin diagram. These all the things now we are discussing. So next lecture class, there we are going to the second experiment. There we are how we go to verify the basic logic gates with the help of truth table. Okay, so next lecture we go to do that second experiment, that is nothing but the study of basic gates and verify their truth table.